This is Erica Clark Wise, the Renaissance, and I am beyond understanding of how this can be still going on after 2 years of reporting disinformation about the neuroweaponry and the male dominance position of dark web games of destruction. Let me give you all a chance to come in. Let me give you a chance to come in. I want to go live, folks. I didn't even want to go live, but it's a necessary thing. I didn't even want to do this. I'm not even the type that really goes live and tells a story. I'm more of like an investigative writer type person. And I didn't even want to be investigating. I prefer to write about spiritual things, self-mastery, business acumen, business innovation. That's more my position in life. But I've been attacked. I'm being attacked. I give it till like 2:30. 2:30 on the live is when I'm gonna 2 minutes and 30 seconds is when I'll start speaking, because I don't even have any idea what I'm gonna say, but I know something has to be said. Something has to be said for what's going on. I've been on for 1 minute and it's still not letting me create a highlight. That's what I'm trying to show, is that there's something wrong in terms of my phone, as well as the hackers being in close proximity, just like I mentioned. You're supposed to be able to create a highlight. I've done it several times before. This is Erica Clark Wise, the Renaissance, and I am beyond repair in terms of going back to normal. I'll never be the same again. After being illegally implanted, allegedly, in a Puerto Rican hospital with neuroweaponry, confirming that through the various other people who have been attacked in Savannah, Georgia, indicating that 3 different hate groups have been able to place 3 unsuspecting chips, is what I've coined the term chips, just like a nano chip, so to speak. It's not like that. I think they said it's like a thread. And being tracked through microwave guns, you can look that up. There's not a lot of information on YouTube about it the last time I checked, but you can definitely look it up. I am taken aback by the fact that so many people are oblivious to what is going on with their own brain. I myself went to sleep with one brain and woke up with another. And they're able to do that through a slavery game in which men and women of all races and cultures are surfing a dark web app that was said to be created through Aryan Nation and other hate groups, even hate groups against lesbians. And these people were able to come to this joined position on an app on the dark web and sell and trade people who have been infected, most likely in hospitals as well as prison systems, with an experimental type system of destruction that does exactly what I said it does in the description. I had to go live because they've hacked my phone to the point where my app for hotels.com they were able to contact the hotel that I'm going to be staying at next for my reservation. And they contacted them. It looks and appears as if they contacted them in Spanish, so you know it's not me, through the chat. And how were they able to do that? Because they have hacked my telephone Gmail. I cannot log on to Threads. My Threads is I'm back 6608. If you are an investigator that is working for justice and not to capture and prostitute and human traffic women and children and gays and lesbians, then I would appreciate if you would take pictures and send those threads out, because I can't access it right now and I can't afford to get a phone right now. This is still my hacked phone, and it's difficult. I changed my password, but it's still difficult because whenever they are in close proximity to you, it appears that they can get on your phone once they have you on a chip. Hola. It looks like they can infiltrate the Wi-Fi at your various hotels and locations. And so many of these victims are traveling abroad and traveling throughout the world because of the attack, looking for family members. I've heard several people on the chip mentioning that they don't know where their loved ones and family members are. And it becomes dangerous because the people who are able to buy them, they have several people under their belt, so to speak, in the slavery game. They're slave masters and they're slaves. They tried to make me into a slave master when they noticed that I wasn't an easy slave to contain, because I keep speaking out and I won't listen to their promptings in terms of where to go, who to meet with, and how to move in life. This is something that's shadow, undercover, and they disguise it as some type of government experiment that we're all aware of. This is one narrative. There's several narratives. And so I'm reaching out to the community in order for me to get an interview with CBS Morning or Time Magazine, something like that. Right now, my brain has been totally fried all night long. And they put a man on me who has a fetish for incest. And these are the things that you have to know yourself well enough to be able to differentiate between what your mind would think and what others would ruminate on in order to create psychological manipulation to take you over. Right now I'm speaking slow because that's how the slave master who bought me he speaks. And so that's what's emulating through me, and it's not my posture. This is hurting me because his body's not as strong as mine because I work out so often. This is hurting me. I believe he's in close proximity to me. I believe I know who he is, and I believe he's a participant in the slavery game. Today he was telling me through the chip that he didn't put the chip on me, but you bought me. So what's the difference? And so this is something, like I said, I'm lost for words. I cannot believe that it's still not addressed 2 years later after I addressed it first with the FBI in Puerto Rico in 2023. I addressed it with the cyber unit in Puerto Rico in 2023, and they ignored the report, so to speak. And he went as far as to tell people that he was helping as a missionary with the women who are infected. But in fact, I think what it is a cover-up in terms of his desire to fulfill his incest fetish by collecting sisters from various regions that he can find with that intel of being one of the people that's the quote-unquote helper. And I think he has these fantasies that he goes through in terms of connecting those chips to one another and terrorizing sisters. This is something that I learned on the mountain of Utuado from my landlord and neighbor who was constantly looking for her sister. She was infected by the chip much later than when I initially moved on, and it was done most likely in a hospital. But she did have access to the microwave guns, and she was, along with her husband, raping the hell out of me through the simulation by affecting the, like doing like a clasp and a drilling sensation on my vagina. That's what it feels like. Now my brain is totally fried from them trying to remove my memory from what I gathered from the man who bought me yesterday. He didn't want me to be able to relay the information of his brain in terms of my ability to differentiate between my brain and someone else's. This is all complex neuro weaponry that is advanced technology, supposedly, allegedly, out of Singapore that was bought by Aryan Nation on the dark market. They told me these things on the mountain of Utuado because they were hoping that since I wasn't an easy slave to capture, that I would be their prophetess. All this is true. I know it sounds like some type of Star Trek, but I have to tell these things because I am being attacked. Right now, my head is so full. My head is so full of other people's shit. It has nothing to do with me. I think one of the things they're trying to do is frame me for some deaths that I'm not even aware of. No, I can't reach several family members and friends, and I know that my phone, now that I understand it is hacked, perhaps was going to people who were utilizing AI to pretend as if I was speaking to my family members when I really wasn't. Because that's the intel, and I use intel not because I'm FBI, but because that's my verbiage. The intel that I gathered when I was investigating about a year ago and wondering why I was hearing my family member and loved ones' voices, it showed me that they were able to be spoken to by these vigilantes, and thus they're able to pretend after they get the chip in those people that you are speaking back to them through blending the chips through some type of app or mechanism. This is all factual because I can verify through my identity theft program that I actually was sold to the dark web. I'm devastated. I'm trying to wait right now to receive my money so that we can see how I said we. That's another thing that indicates that there's more than one brain that's infiltrating my brain. I don't say we. I say I say I. And so these are concerns that I have as we move forward in this we move forward in this investigative survival mode. I went to my app at hold on one second, let me respond here. I went to my app on hotel, on my hotel reservation, and I was concerned because someone had been speaking to the hotel through the chat mechanism, and it wasn't me. There were several rumors made when I was in the sociopathic relationship with Alita Felton. I'm not scared to say her name. Alita Felton, and she was very dangerous. She tried to convince me that I had some debilitating mental illness, and it was not true. And then, like sociopaths do, she came back to haunt me through her collaboration with 19 Keys and their affiliation with Red Pill and Blue Pill, who reported to the CIA in 2022, I believe, that, or no, it was probably 2020, that I was a pedophile. This is the intel. This is allegedly. So these are the things, and Phil, Red Pill and Blue Pill are Phil Moreland and Paul Moreland. Right now I have some business to take care of, and one of my roommates is entering the room. So I'm going to have to go and get back to you all. But just know that I need you to report to the International Criminal Court.